Hello, bright minds, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into part 2 of our relationship series, focusing on 4 more mistakes that could potentially harm your relationship. First up, we have unrealistic expectations. Unrealistic expectations are often the invisible traps in our relationships. They sneak in silently, and before you know it, they've set the stage for disappointment and dissatisfaction. The danger lies in setting expectations that are far from reality. For instance, expecting your partner to read your mind, a common yet unrealistic expectation, can lead to unnecessary conflicts. Or expecting them to change their fundamental personality traits, another unrealistic expectation, can lead to resentment and frustration. Unrealistic expectations are like mirages. They seem real and attainable, but in the end, they only leave us thirsty for more. It's essential to remember that no one is perfect, and expecting your partner to be can only lead to disappointment. Set realistic expectations and appreciate your partner for who they are. Moving on to our second mistake, conflict avoidance. It's a common misconception that evading conflict is the key to a harmonious relationship, but in reality, it's quite the opposite. Conflict avoidance can lead to unresolved issues and build tension, creating an undercurrent of discomfort that can erode the foundations of a relationship. To ensure a relationship's health and longevity, it's crucial to embrace healthy communication. This involves expressing your feelings and addressing conflicts head-on rather than sweeping them under the rug. It's all about understanding that disagreements are a natural part of any relationship. The key is not to avoid them, but to navigate them with respect, empathy, and open communication. This doesn't mean you have to agree on everything. It's about acknowledging each other's perspectives, even if you disagree, and finding common ground. Avoiding conflicts might seem like the easy way out, but it only leads to bigger problems down the line. So face them head-on and work towards resolution. Next up, we have the refusal to compromise. This is a biggie, folks. Refusing to compromise can be like throwing gasoline on a fire. It only fuels ongoing conflicts and power struggles. In a relationship, it's vital to understand that it's not about winning or losing. It's about finding a middle ground that respects both parties' needs and desires. Imagine a relationship as a dance. Each partner has to move in sync, sometimes leading, sometimes following, but always together. If one partner refuses to budge, the dance falls apart. It's the same with compromise. When we refuse to compromise, we are essentially saying that our needs, our wants, our viewpoints are the only ones that matter. That's not a dance, that's a solo performance. Mutual respect and understanding are the cornerstones of a healthy relationship. They allow us to put our ego aside and find a solution that respects both parties. Remember, a relationship is a partnership and compromise is key. Be flexible and willing to meet your partner halfway. Lastly, let's talk about overcommitment. Overcommitment is essentially when you're so caught up in other aspects of life that you end up neglecting the needs of your relationship. It's like trying to juggle a dozen eggs, and while you're so focused on not dropping one, you might not notice that the others are beginning to crack. This isn't to say that you should put your relationship above everything else, but rather, it's about finding a balance. Life is filled with responsibilities, and it's easy to get swept away. But remember, your relationship is also a responsibility. It's important to ensure that you're not only meeting your partner's needs, but also the needs of the relationship itself. This might mean setting aside dedicated quality time, or simply being there for your partner when they need you. Being committed is wonderful, but overcommitment can lead to neglect. Balance is key, so make sure to prioritize your relationship. So there you have it. 4 more relationship mistakes to be aware of. We've journeyed through the pitfalls of unrealistic expectations, where the grandeur of our dreams can blind us to the reality of our partners. We've navigated the murky waters of conflict avoidance, where the fear of discord can lead us to bury our issues in the sand, only for them to resurface with greater intensity. We've faced the tough terrain of refusal to compromise, where our stubbornness can build walls instead of bridges. And we've trekked through the wilderness of overcommitment, where our zeal to do everything can lead us to neglect the one thing that matters the most, our relationship. Each of these pitfalls is a lesson in balance, in understanding, and in love. They remind us to check our expectations, to face our conflicts, to compromise when needed, and to prioritize our relationships. Stay tuned for part 3 of our relationship series, where we'll continue to explore common mistakes to avoid. And as always, remember to love wisely. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.